It's Tony G, Big Lou, K-Ham Radio, the sports book every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. We got a lot to talk about, a lot of crazy stuff. We got college football, we got basketball, we got it all. We got MLB, biggest contract in any sports. Soto gets $765 million, 15 years, $51 million a year, guaranteed. Hats off to him. You know, it's a big. I mean, the Yankees had a chance at him, but I think at that money, they're going to have to build a team around him. And the Yankees already have some foundation. I still think the best team in baseball right now is still Los Angeles Rams or Dodgers. But yeah, it was a crazy deal. I was watching that today, and I said, "Holy cow, that's record breaking." College football, there was a couple. And there really nothing happened that I didn't expect to happen that we talked about. Oregon beating Oregon beating Penn State. Number 9, Boise State. All right. No, actually, yeah, UNLV 7 beats Boise State. Did I say that wrong? Flipped it around. Boise State beats UNLV. Yeah. Texas lost to Georgia. Georgia, that was a good game. Mm-hmm. That was a real good game. SMU loses to Clemson. That was 16 beating 10, and then we got the playoffs coming. I was trying to pull up the. I guess that's. Which,
I got the bracket pulled up. We got Vegas and Clemson. The winner of that plays Arizona State. Tennessee, Ohio State, that winner plays Oregon. SMU and Penn State, that they did get them in. They did get SMU in, I know that. But that winner plays Boise State. And Indiana, Notre Dame, that winner plays Georgia. So that's the bracket set up so far.
And that starts, when's that? Is that this week?
And that starts this weekend. If I'm not mistaken. December 21st. So that's next weekend, am I right?
Next weekend. Yeah.
Next weekend.
Yeah, so we'll get plenty of time to cover this. Yeah, to cover the spreads.
Right.
Okay. So that being said, let's jump off into NFL, the Thursday night game. The over, like we said, the over in the Packers and the Lions. That was definitely the go, and it was a good game. It was 34-31.
Mm-hmm.
The Packers gave the Lions everything that they could ask for. And like I said, it was a good game. The over was it. They had a lot of there's a lot of good prop bets on that one for yardage for the running backs for the Lions. Especially now we're starting to get into, really paying attention to not really paying attention, but some of the players are hot and the prop bets are where it's at. But that was a good Thursday night game. The Lions are 12-1. They're going to end up being the number 1 seed in the NFC. We got a few games left. Things could change. We'll see if they keep the foot on the gas. I think at that point, you gotta. I don't know. We'll just see if they let up a little. If maybe they take golf out for half. Maybe only plays half a game. Try to save everybody. But at the same time, you do not want to get flat.
Right.
Let me pull that up. Boom. Yeah. So, and it was funny because a couple of these games that we had mentioned, the Jaguars and the Titans, that was just the Jaguars won.
Yeah.
It was a kick fest. And it was an under game. But the Titans hung in there tight, but they just couldn't pull it out. And then we had, let me see, I'm pulling it up. Oh, you're gonna be that. You're gonna oh, wait a minute. Trying to pull up, being a little slow with me.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Bear with me, bear with me.
All right. It's no problem. No problem at all.
So,
Um,
um,
yeah, like you said, that one was a kick fest.
but yeah, a lot of good games. Um,
Yep, game of the night for me. But I'm gonna let you go in the order that you've been in. But game of the night was Rams Bills, but we'll get to that after you go through the list of scores and highlights. But we'll
that was a
I'll
good. That was a
that
heck of.
was
Yeah,
that was a heck of a game.
that
Heck of a
def
game.
that definitely it definitely was a heck of a game. I will say that. I'm trying to scores. Sometimes you wonder about the internet. You gotta go, man. This is.
Yeah, you just gotta
Let's see if
you just
I
gotta
can get
work
it
with it.
up here
You would think,
until.
because me and Tony was there for the beginning of it. So you would think that by now, all of those things we wouldn't have to worry about anymore. The buffering, signal, reception. We shouldn't have to worry about it now because we was, AOL dial-up. We come from them days. A lot of you people don't understand what I'm talking about.
There you
It's
go.
okay. It's okay. You don't have to, don't hurt the brain. It's okay. It's a long
You've
time
got
ago.
you've got
Go,
mail.
yeah. Yeah, this is just type AOL in YouTube and go from there. But yeah, so we would
Okay,
suspect
let me see.
now we would expect better internet quality. Notice I hadn't said any providers. We just want better internet quality.
Right, right. All right, so we had the Lions.
Hmm.
Like I said, a good game. Sorry, it took forever. The Saints and the Giants. Cars out for
Hmm.
the rest of the year.
Yeah, cars out. Uh, yeah, cars out for the rest of the season. Uh, Patience out. So I guess they gotta. It's I gotta check and see about Spencer Rattler and what his service, how and what his condition is. But they came out with the victory, which was kind of surprising to me because NFC South teams don't play that well in the they don't play that well in the North or in cold weather places. Even though the weather was okay, it was good football weather, but something about that air up there, they don't play well. But it was a good win for the Saints. Um, they are. They seem to be gelling with that special team coach, but I still don't believe that he's going to be their head coach next season. I think they're going to find a head coach somewhere.
Yeah, I won't be surprised. Won't be surprised. Uh, they uh they got a lot of decisions to be made. I think they're even the decision whether or not sticking with Carr, just a lot of decisions. They're
Yeah.
not the only team. Um, the next game is the Eagles and the Panthers. And what's crazy is we talked about this about the
Hmm.
spread, and sure enough, the spread. Uh, the Panthers were on their butt there for a second. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're talking about the spread wise, um, and they were 13 and a half. So if you grab the Panthers with the 13, I ain't mad at you because like I said, that was definitely a lot of points, and the Panthers aren't playing for anything. And I knew this will be coming up to this is that part of the season where you'll see teams get up and then lay back and
Right.
maybe take somebody out, put in a second string quarterback, still maintain the win, but won't put any
Hmm.
more pressure on.
Right.
Speaking of that, would be the Browns and the Steelers. The spread
Hmm.
was 41 and a half. The
Hmm.
Steelers sat on the it was first and goal. They sat on the basically 3 yards from a touchdown for 2 minutes. just holding the ball. They never scored. They never kicked a field goal. Oh, they never. Because I thought they were going to kick, and so pretty much lost the over. The over was 41 and a half. That was the
Mhm.
one that I lost, and I knew not to do that because I knew that's how Pittsburgh plays. Pittsburgh plays very, I don't want to say soft. I'm going to say they're more apt to do that than Detroit. Detroit's going to keep
Mhm.
coming. They're not
Yeah.
going to stop. So you have a
Yeah.
good chance with them when you bet the over with them. They're just going to keep trying to score.
Right.
And Pittsburgh was a good game,
But good game.
but they just like, oh yeah, I was just like, seriously, you're just going to sit there. It was actually 222, and they just kind of moved the ball a little, got a first down, and then Cleveland didn't have anything, and that was
Right. And I feel so bad for Jameis because he shows flashes of a solid quarterback in this league, but the turnovers, the interceptions is killing him. That's what kills him. And it's like WTF interception. They're not interceptions where okay, the corner beat them, or but they're just they're bad. They're bad
right.
interceptions, and you can't, and he's going to throw it. They wouldn't even give me any. They wouldn't give me anything trying to bet on them because I was going to pick, all alternate. I was going to pick the interceptions, but they didn't have it available to bet on because it's automatic with him. He's going to turn it over.
He yeah, he's got a heck of an arm. Apparently, he's a great teammate. Everybody loves him.
Hmm.
Um, just can't find a home. Just hasn't found the right setup. I guess he's had his opportunities. Just has not. Where is that? Just hasn't 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 worked out for him.
No, too
The
dangerous
Raiders
with
and
it.
yeah, the Raiders and the Bucks. I picked the Bucks. That worked out well. The Raiders got so much to do on the off season. It's
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. They got a lot of work to do.
just kind of a lot of work to do. Quarterback, maybe even another. I think the coach. I mean, I think you got to stay with the coach. I think switching out all the coaches all the time. I mean, I think he's got the Raider mentality, the
Hmm.
Raider way. He's lacking a lot of pieces,
Yeah.
and you just keep swapping them out, and it's like, man, that's just not going. It's
Right.
just
You got to
not
have somebody.
going anywhere.
Right.
Seattle and the Cardinals. This was
Another good. Yeah.
one. Yeah, here's another one. The Cardinals were at home. Seattle proved that they're a better team. The Cardinals are very streaky.
Hmm.
Like we said before about not knowing about what your which team you're going to get
Which,
makes them hard
yeah,
sometimes to
yeah,
bet.
which
Yeah,
team's going to show up?
and it just makes them a hard gamble. But Seattle's trying to get themselves in the playoffs, and it looks like they're going to be there. I mean, the Cardinals are still an outside chance. Um, I give them a lot of I um, give them a lot of credit. Now going to the game that you were talking about, the Bills and the Rams, it was a hell
Hmm.
of a game. Um, Josh Allen, first time ever a quarterback ever scored six touchdowns, three running, three passing. Um,
Hmm.
hats off. So this is what I'm talking about. This is what scares me about the Bills. And I said it, and we talked about it. I said it's going to be a tight game. The Rams won a Super Bowl a few years ago. So they know how to win. It's there. They got the coach, and he came up with a heck of a scheme against Buffalo's defense and ran the ball down their throat. And
Hmm.
now Buffalo did figure out how to to come alive. Now Buffalo did come alive, scored
Hmm.
21 points in the fourth quarter. Ain't no doubt about it.
Right.
Josh looked electrifying. Um, um, so that that being said, um, they ran the ball, threw the ball. It was one of probably one of the most exciting games um all year. I mean, I hate to say that. I mean, I hate to be like, but it was a very exciting game. Buffalo
Right.
came close. They got some work to do. Maybe some people may disagree with me. Him going for it and having to use that first down and had to using a timeout may have cost him. He should have instead of that kind of quarterback, he should have stacked it and just went in or threw the ball. So if he missed, it didn't need to use a timeout. Um,
Right.
so
Right. I
that's
agree.
just
I
kind of one of those.
expected, yeah, I expected more out of Cook that game. I expected more out of him that game. He didn't put up the numbers I thought he was going to put up. Kill him a
He,
parlay too.
yeah, I mean he definitely um he definitely he definitely their defense. He like I said they had a heck of a scheme for him. There's no doubt
Hmm.
about it.
Yeah,
They
yeah. That's
did.
good. Tom
Uh,
McVay is a hard. He's hard. He's one of those coaches that he's going to make it a long day for you. It's going to make it a long day. He's one of those hard coaches to try to stick with your game plan. You got to change up with him as well.
Absolutely. I mean they definitely can. But yes, it was a good game. It was a great game. High scoring game of the year.
Hmm.
Um Bills need to do some stuff on Bills need to do some stuff on defense. The offense looks good. Josh is doing all he can do. There's no doubt about that. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything more. Um, so we'll just have to see. They'll have to make some changes, and they did make some changes. If you had the over in this game, hats off to you. It was a heck of a call. Um, but yeah, going forward, like I said, the Buffalo's already in. Rams are trying to find a way in. The Bears and the 49ers, were you surprised? Did you think the Bears were going to give them a little bit more of a
Well, I definitely was surprised at the score. I thought that the 49ers was going to be like between a 10 and 14 point win for them. And we almost got that. But I think the Bears need solid coaching. They got the talent. They're a pretty talented team. They got enough talent to where they could be a big dog in their division. It's their coaching. They got to get a coach in there that knows what he's doing. They've had a little run of I understand they've had a run of coaches that didn't live up to the hype, but they just gotta go and get a good offensive minded coach so that we can get the best talent out of Caleb. I don't think we've gotten everything out of him that we can because
no, no, absolutely not.
no, because some of the stuff that he does that he brought from college, you can still see that, like holding on to the ball a little longer, trying to make a play and run around. You can do that in college and receivers can get open. Not so much in the NFL, those defensive guys are just as smart. So I think they need to get
Right.
a coach in there to get him a scheme that works to his strengths. And because they got the talent, they just don't have a coach.
So let me ask you this though. If you do that, and I guess this is my question, but if you do that, So then do you get another coach that comes in and says, not my quarterback? You know what I mean? And then you go right back to where you are, and it's like,
Yeah, you right
geez,
back to where you started. It's not the
yeah. So I
quarterback.
think,
It's not the quarterback I
yeah,
wanted.
right.
But
And now
but if
we just
they,
had
yeah,
two number one draft choices. You know what I'm
yeah, you
saying? I mean,
had
it don't
Justin
get it.
Fields, and
Yes,
now you got Caleb Williams, and you're not getting anything out of it. So I get your point right there. You
that's
get
my
another
only
coach.
thing.
Yeah. So the coach
Yeah,
they bring in I guess he doesn't have he has to be the one that can get the best out of him as opposed to looking to get new talent or you know what I'm saying. So they got a little work cut out for them. They're gonna have to find someone that can bring out the
Th-
best talent in what they have. They got a number one draft pick. So it's gonna be a tall task for the Bears, but I think if they would just put if they just put their heads down and grind, they can find someone that can, you know, get that team to where it needs to be.
well, I think another thing. I think something they did, like I said, they got to make a commitment to a quarterback and stick with it
Right.
and say we're going to give this a 4 year deal. Let's see what we can do because all these changes, all these different offensive coordinator. It and I think another thing is, and I guess the media, it could be you could say us, we're part of the media. Um, is they overhype stuff and they put a lot. I don't know. I think because they over man, they were like, oh, but Chicago playoffs, they're going. Like, calm down. We haven't done, and he did good for a minute, and then it just imploded.
Hmm.
And then you put all this pressure on a. He's already got enough pressure. So
Right.
and I think, like watching Denver with Joe Nix and, and just watching them, Sean's got them going in the right direction, but they're
Hmm.
short too. They need
Yeah.
defense. They need, you know what I mean? But he's going to build that offense and he's going to get that defense ready. But it's not anything that is built overnight. It's just not.
Right.
I mean, it's you wish it could be, and it sounds like it ought to be, um, but it's just not that. So that being said, might put it before. Um, it's a patient game. It's a long game. It ain't a short game. And I think
Right.
that's sometimes I think, the 49ers did what they did. They're a better coach team. They got more talent. They got a lot of injuries. Last week when the San Francisco lost to the Bills, I have a good friend of mine who's a big San Fran, and I felt bad because I remember when the Bills caught every single unbreak they could happen. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
We always used to say the spaceship is landing, and the spaceship used to land. And I mean,
Right.
last week when they played the Bills, the fumbles on the 1 yard line, you're like, oh my gosh,
Right.
felt bad. Um, they got the talent. They just need to get healthy. And I really think this, and I know a lot of people think I'm crazy. You might have to make a decision about Christian. His
Yeah.
health has become, what I mean, almost to
Becoming a
the
problem.
point where you say, "Hey, what can we get for him?" He just
Right.
can't stay healthy because you keep getting on a run, and you're like, "Yeah, we just won four in a row," and then he's out for four, and then you see a whole different San Francisco team.
Right.
Um, I mean, he's a generational talent. He can catch, he can run, he can block. The guy's a stud, but he just
Hmm.
can't stay healthy.
Right.
And there's decision in the off season, decisions will be made. That's for sure.
Right.
Going down to the Chargers and Chiefs. Did you watch any of this game? This was a good game.
Yes, this was a good game. Got a chance to watch a little bit of it. People say, the football gods are on Kansas City's side because they get so many breaks in games, but it also comes down to coaching as well. And Harbaugh has got the Chargers in the right direction. He's got them headed in the right direction. But
Absolutely.
but Andy Reid, is a football thesaurus. So he's going to make some stuff happen. They are. to me, it looks like they're starting to, gel a little bit. I don't have any worries about them in the playoffs because now that they've clinched, you got to go to Arrowhead. So it's just an
Yeah.
unorthodox season for them because of how they're winning, but they're still winning. So you have to attest that, to patience and discipline and believing in their coach and believing in their play callers and executing those plays. It's just how they're winning these games.
So here's another fact, and I'm not only going to sound like I'm being a homer. So Buffalo beat them a couple weeks ago.
Hmm.
So with a minute left, Buffalo did exactly what me and you have said. You got to leave them in a position. So you can't be down by 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't be down from 1 to 7. You
Right.
got to be down from 9 and above because
Absolutely.
there is no fear in Patrick Mahomes or Andy Reid. They're not in no fear and go, we're going to start the game at 14-13 with 1 minute on the clock. Them guys are like,
Right.
okay, we got it. All right, cool. Well, I got you. They have no fear where other quarterbacks haven't come from behind that many times, haven't been in that many big situations. The guy's got
Right.
3 Super Bowls. He's not. It's not in his. That team doesn't sweat. We
Mhm.
got it. We'll make it happen. So that being said, is you have to have Dan Campbell's. You have to have your foot on their. You have to have your foot on the gas with them at all times. Every play you better score. You better run up 40 points and never look
Absolutely.
back because they'll put up 41 against you and you'll be like, we were up 40 points. You were, but you
Exactly.
let off. Why did you
You
let
let
off?
off.
Well, yeah, well, we thought maybe we could. No, you thought wrong.
No,
Um,
you can't run the score up and then play conservative. You got to play that same way the whole entire game.
right. This is this is true. So that being said, hey, hats off to Kansas City. We've been saying the way you got to beat them. You got to be up 9. When there's 1 minute left in the game, you need to be up 9. You need to be up 9 points at least. End of
Exactly.
conversation. Anything less, you're suspect. That's just they probably the best 2 minute drill in football.
Hmm. Hands down.
Arguably, we could argue. Yeah, we could argue all you want, but you got to show me somebody. I don't know who. You might have to go
Right.
back to the days of of uh, San Francisco back in them days. You know what I mean? I'll give
Hmm.
you that. We can argue about that. Montana,
Right.
I'll take the yeah. But holy cow, nobody else. All right, guys, when we get back, we're going to cover all the upcoming games. Let's see if we can make some money. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to reach out to our guys, the Pool Freaks, at 936-521-5285. And don't forget, if you guys are interested in any kind of ATM or credit card service, LJ Merchant Services, 318-470-0570. Tell them Tony G and Big Lou sent you. Get a discount. All right, guys, we'll be back on KHAM Radio, where we go ham.
Yeah.
KM Radio, it's Tony G, Big Lou on the sports book every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Coming at you. Don't forget to tune in. Don't forget to reach out to us on our Facebook page, Sportsbook. Reach out to us at KM Radio. Like I said, DM us if you have a business, as you just heard. We always shout out to businesses and do business spotlights. Reach out to us. Love to put you on. Love to put you on. Let's see if we can make some money. There's been a lot of, like I said, a lot of money being made with some player props. All right, first game. So I guess it's going to be our Thursday night game. Los Angeles Rams, San Francisco 49ers. This is going to be a good game. San
This
Fran's
is gonna be a
got
great game.
San. Yeah, it's going to be a great. San Fran's got a lot of injuries. It's going to be in San Fran. It's going to be Thursday night. It's not going to be warm. Um, that was like part of me wished we were playing them in Buffalo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, come on, play in the snow. And it ain't gonna be snow in San Fran, but
No.
it's gonna be cold and it's probably gonna rain.
Hmm.
Um, so that being said, Los Angeles is on a Los Angeles has got it's a must win for both teams,
Hmm.
no doubt. Um, but I like San Fran at home,
Okay.
and I like the over at 48 and a half. Like I always say, change that, try to drop it down to um 47 or whatever action you can get.
Hmm.
And all right, here we go there. Okay. So yeah, like San Fran at home. What are you thinking? You're thinking the Rams, I mean, it's minus 2.5. So really it's a pick 'em.
Hmm. Yeah. It's gonna be this game. But I'm with you on that, Tony. I'm with the 49ers at home. Although can, the Rams can beat San Francisco, but I just
No
feel
doubt.
like I just feel like uh I just feel like they're gonna take that game at home because, like you say, division rival, they know each other. You know, you got two of the sharpest brains in football with
Yep.
Shanahan and with the Rams coach. So yeah, it should be a good game, but I'm with you. I'm gonna ride with San Fran.
All right. So we got that one. That's our Thursday night game.
Hmm.
Let me see, let me see. All right, then we got Kansas City and Cleveland Browns. Cleveland's +4. See, here's another one. I like
Hmm.
Cleveland if you can squeeze Cleveland, if you can squeeze Cleveland to I don't know, play with it and see if you can get them at 6. Because here's the
Right.
deal. The way that Kansas City's been playing, they haven't covered any spreads. It's going to be right there at it.
Hmm.
And
And they
I think
clinch. And they clinch so they don't have to keep their foot on the gas as much.
right. And they haven't covered the haven't covered any spreads. I mean, it's been a minute since they covered another over. See, this is one of those ones like with the over. If Mahomes only plays the first 2 series, now we change everything with the
Yeah.
over. Um, then all of a sudden you could see this is one of the ones that and this is I was telling somebody else this. If you're gonna bet, especially on your program, on your app, you have to be watching everything because it's going to sound because there's going to be buyouts for you to buy
Hmm.
out, and as crazy as it sounds, let's say you bet 50 and the win is 100, you're gonna double your money.
Right.
So if your team jumps out, if your team jumps out 14 points real quick, they may offer you $75. A lot of people may
Right.
go, well, man, sometimes I think it's better just to take the $25 because you got 100 max. Okay.
Right.
But then if they score, now it's down to 48. They make it a game. It may go back and forth. You have to, and if it to me when it's being tight, I think it's
Hmm.
better sometimes to take the buyout when you've made $25 or
Yeah.
20% of what you made. But you got to be paying attention. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You got to watch your. And I think this could be one of those games. Um, make some live bets. Don't really like any props on this because I don't know how long anyone's going to play, and
Right.
that's the other. Yeah,
That's
I
the
don't know
other
how long
thing.
Pacheco. Yeah, Pacheco's.
Yeah, you don't
I
know
don't know if
Pacheco. Yeah.
Kelsey's going to play.
So,
Is Kelsey playing the whole game? Is he playing
right.
one series?
Is he even going to get 25 plus yards? Even if you take the
Right.
lowest, is he going to get those 25 yards? He may not.
Yes, that is true. You don't know. I mean, That's what this time of year is good and bad for.
Hmm.
The teams that are fighting, the teams that are fighting, it's great, but the teams that have already clinched may, get into a dogfight and say, yeah, okay, we'll let them have this because it doesn't matter. I'm
Hmm.
not trying to get anybody hurt. Um,
Right.
Next game is the Baltimore Ravens and the New York
Mm.
Giants. The Ravens are 15-point dogs. Um,
Wow.
I know, right? Wow. So this is
Wow.
one, and that's at 110. So let's say
Hmm.
you take them. Let me see if they'll let me do it. Now, if you like I said, we're just looking for winners. We ain't. Some people think I'm crazy, but hey, I don't care. If you
Right.
take them to if you take them to 18.5, it's 188, right? So
Mm-hmm.
put that in perspective. Let me see that. Okay, and you put 100 on it, you'll win $53. Um, so yeah, you're risking 100. Hey man, we're just trying to. Everyone has their own angle, and one thing that I've learned about sports betting, everybody's got an opinion. It's like something else everyone has. And
Hmm.
there's guys that all they do, the big time guys, they watch the numbers. They don't even watch the team. They actually try
Right.
to manipulate a line to get it to swerve, to get it to change big enough to where they can have an advantage. We can go all into that. That's the math part of it.
Right.
We're weekend betters. You're weekend betters. I mean, come on, let's start with the basics, and we're just looking for easy wins. And this
Hmm.
could be Baltimore run all over the Giants. But my thing
Right.
is, again, it's going back to what Big Lou said: is how long are they going to keep Lamar in there? How long are they going to keep Henry in there? They don't
Right.
need any. They don't need anybody. Those two players, they're not the same team without it. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Yeah,
Right.
without Henry and without Lamar, that's not a real. It's not a very scary team.
No.
And the Giants are terrible. We already know that.
Mm.
Um, but they are professional athletes and they are playing for pride. So you always got to take that into consideration. Um, Let me go here. Boom, got that. Let me go back here. Let me do it this. Boom. Let me go NFL. All right, let's go to our next game. NFL. Ba-ba-dee-ba-dee. Man. All right, here we go. All right, let's go NFL. Boom. All right, so we are on Miami Dolphins, Houston Texans. Um, Good game. I like the Texans in this. The Texans need to keep winning.
Hmm.
Um, but check out your player props on Tua's yardage and on what's his name receiving yards.
Uh. Uh.
That's terrible. People are
Collins.
like, man, you can't.
Yeah.
Huh?
Collins. Is it Nick Collins?
No, the lightning fast guy.
Oh, is he still out? Is is Diggs still out?
Not Diggs. Not
Stephon
I'm talking
Diggs?
about. I'm talking about for Miami would be
Oh, Tyreek. Peter.
Tyreek. Check out his. I know hey, man, we're just it's the average sports book show. Calm down over there. Comments. We
Yeah.
don't have a staff. Remember this. We don't have a
We are the
staff
staff.
handing us pay. We are the
Right.
staff. We take out the trash. We make phone calls. We do it all. That's what we do here.
Analytics.
Um,
We're all it. You
yeah,
see it
yeah,
live.
yeah. So criticizing us is like criticizing yourself. I just thought
Right.
I'd
We're on the
throw that
same
at you.
level.
There you go. All right. So yeah, check out some of the props on that Miami Texan, because Miami's going to come try to play, um, and Houston needs to keep winning, get in the right groove, make the playoffs, get in there in a good groove for the playoffs. Washington and the Saints. Saints are minus 7.5.
Mm,
Washington is playing for a spot. The Saints are playing for pride.
right.
Uh,
And they're playing in the dome, but I don't think that's going to be a big. That's not going to be a factor. Washington can win this game.
oh
They can
God,
win
yeah,
this game.
Washington, yeah,
They can win this game if the Saints are not. If the Saints are not careful, they could get this game to Washington. I think they're going to keep it close, but Saints have to
Power's
play.
out though,
Yeah,
right?
yes. Carr's out. Taysom Hill's out. Uh, and there's a couple other players that that had some serious injuries that they haven't came back from. So,
Right.
like I said, this game, this is they're gonna have to play tough. New Orleans got to play tough because the Commanders, they're coming with it. Maybe maybe Chase Young can help them out defensively. Give them a couple of pointers and stuff on their defense to try to help them work their way around it. But you need to start a quarterback to make that work.
Yes,
So,
yes.
so it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a tough one.
And I think in what the way Washington's playing right now with the seven, gambling wise, you could take them down to six,
Hmm.
-6. It's going to be a tough day for the Saints. Um,
Yeah, I agree.
they're playing for pride, yeah, but as gambling, I mean, you have to go, hey man, we're going to go with Washington. Then you got, you see, you got the Jets and Jaguars. I mean, this is a bad. These are two bad teams. Um,
Yeah,
I
both
know,
have
I know,
3-10 record.
I know Rogers is going to try to play though. I mean, he's going
Yeah.
to try to. I think he's trying to recoup whatever he can recoup of his legacy,
Hmm.
and I think because that's just a competitor in him.
Right. And there's
Um,
been talk about older quarterbacks going to warm weather teams, you know, to to keep their to make that transition. Because
yeah,
we see Brady, he left New England with the Tampa, where it's warm, you know, and they were stacked already. They had a long stretch playoff team built already,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so if Aaron Rodgers goes anywhere else, it's hard for me to see because everybody's going to base it off of this season. But I think he needs to get out of that cold, get in some warm weather where he can do some things.
So the only other one that went from a dome to cold weather would be Peyton. Peyton went to Denver.
Yeah,
He went
he
from a
went from
dome.
Indy to yeah, he went from a
Yeah,
dome to outside and mile high.
yeah. Um. So yeah, like I said, I mean, I'd go with the Jets on this any game. I would bet, but I would pick the Jets. I'm gonna write them down. I would pick
Yeah.
the Jets over Jackson because I think next year during the offseason, I think you're going to see so many firings and so many people moving around because a
Yeah,
lot
it's
of
gonna be a
teams,
complete gonna be a
yes,
complete
complete
transition.
because anywhere from the Jaguars to the Giants to the Jets, all these Cleveland, they all have a lot of decisions to make. They
Mhm.
got a lot of money tied up. Um,
Right, because
which
because
direction
they
are we going?
right. Sunshine got the money, so you got to build a team around him. I don't think we got the
Yes.
best. I thought we was going to get the best out of him with Doug Peterson, but it didn't look that way.
No, it doesn't look that way at all. It really doesn't. It doesn't seem like he was a good fit for him. The first couple, I mean, I thought he was doing well, and then it just
Hmm.
just hasn't been well. Like I said, we're going to see some. We're definitely going to see some changes. The next game is the Bills in Detroit. This is going to be interesting.
Woo, this could be a
I
Super Bowl
like
right here.
yeah, I like the over. Um, so Detroit watched, and this is a player prop. This could be a player prop uh, bonanza. So
Hmm.
Detroit watched. So they got two bad to the bone running backs. So he's going to try to stuff the ball down the Bills' throat.
Yeah, Montgomery and Gibbs.
Uh,
They're gonna do work.
yeah, and Detroit secondary isn't as good as they. That's why they blitz a lot. And you
Hmm.
got Josh Allen coming off of unbelievable, having a heck of a year, MVP year. Um, so I would look at Josh's TDs. I would look at Amari Cooper's TDs, Montgomery's rushing. I mean, there's so many player props action in this game. The
Hmm.
game itself is 1.5. To me, that's a pick 'em. Um,
Yeah.
because here's another thing. I don't know what's going to happen. What does Detroit really need to do? How long?
Right.
If Buffalo jumps up, do you pull golf? If Detroit jumps up, I'm talking about 15, 20 points. Do you pull?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because neither one of these teams got to win this game because it doesn't really, because Detroit already has, right now, they got home field advantage. They've already
Hmm.
won their division. So at this point, why get anyone hurt? So
Right.
that's why I'm saying, and even the overs just depends how long they keep Josh and everybody in the game. That's what it really comes down to. I mean, the
Right.
rest is just now. If this game was 4 weeks ago, whole different scenario, whole
Hmm.
different. You know what I mean? Then you got Josh, then you got golf, you got everybody. Everybody's playing for something, but they've already both won. And Detroit already looks like they're going to win. And then it depends what the
Yeah.
other scores are. If they've locked in home field. All right, Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh and Philly. We're going to find out
Hmm.
if Pittsburgh's all what they say they are, because
Yeah.
I got the way Philly's playing. I mean, Philly -5. The over's 43. I know. So I know Pittsburgh. We know Pittsburgh is a well coached team. We already know that.
Hmm.
Um, they play a good ground and pound football. We know that. I just think Philadelphia right now, and it could be arguably Philadelphia over Detroit. And see, that's another thing is like, so that game comes on the same time. If Pittsburgh is beating Philly, then it really doesn't matter to Detroit. You know what I mean?
Right.
The home field, right? So there's so many things that are a variable. But
Hmm.
straight up, I like Philly with everybody keeping everybody. I like Philly. I like the over.
Right.
Tampa Bay and the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers are playing good, solid football. He's got them. He's taken that and he is just playing his kind of ball. They don't make a lot of
Hmm.
mistakes. They don't do. They don't do. If you watched Herbert last couple of years, a lot of interceptions, a lot of holding, just a lot of bad. You'd be like, wow, that really. And Harbaugh doesn't play them games. He's not that
No.
guy. It's we're going to be efficient and we're going to be even more efficient. I mean, that's just
Hmm.
how that both of them are. Um, in Tampa Bay, at times, our guy's been doing good there. Uh,
Yeah.
Baker
Baker's doing
Mayfield's
good. Yeah.
yeah, he's doing. He's lost a couple. And the weather's going to be fine. Um, I just think Harbaugh's a little better of a coach, and I think lost the Chargers squeeze out of this. Um,
Hmm.
but I think it's going to be tight. But I do like the L.A. Chargers.
Right.
All right,
Right.
Indianapolis Colts versus Denver Broncos. We got your guy Sean Payton. He's got now. One thing I did notice about the Broncos, they need some defense help. The defense ain't. The defense is lacking. I mean, he's got the offense fine tuned, working
Hmm.
very efficient. it's not it's not high flying, but very efficient. But the
Right.
defense, he's lacking. I'm sure he's working on that. But I like Denver in Denver with the weather, with the snow, with the Indianapolis Colts. Um, I like the Broncos. I mean, you see the Colts. I mean, they've had little flurries of possibilities that just haven't been able to put it together. So I definitely like the Broncos at home.
Okay.
New
I
England
agree with you on
and
that.
New England, Arizona. Who you got
Talk about, I don't know. I'll go with Arizona in this game at home. I think,
at
I
home?
think, yeah, I think they could beat the Patriots at home. Well, they should beat the Patriots at home. It depends on which
They
team
should.
shows up, which Arizona team comes to play. You know,
Which
I
Arizona?
just hope,
Right. Which?
right. I just hope they don't make the mistake and play down to the Cardinals if they're losing early because they could turn
Yeah.
it back on instantly. And now, when you had them down to a field goal, now they're up for 5 points, and you don't know how it
Right.
happened.
Right. But yeah, Arizona would be the pick. Green Bay and Seattle. Who you got
Ooh,
in
what a good
Seattle?
game! Good playoff game. Good playoff game. Green Bay and Seattle. There is Seattle, 13 man. Uh, Gino's been up and down, but more up than down. So, ah, I don't know. I might go Seahawks in this.
I
Green
like
Bay
the
has the
Seahawks with you.
capacity to beat them, but Gino, that's my
Yeah. That's
Which Gino up here? I know what
I
Jordan
like
Love
see.
up here, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. That's what. Yeah. Yeah. You just don't know what Seahawk what Seahawk team you're getting. Um,
right.
just it's all about consistency. Um, Chicago Bears, Minnesota Vikings. Sam Darnold's looking good. The
Hmm.
Vikings are looking good. Um, I like Minnesota at home playing in the dome. Um, definitely like him playing in the dome. Uh, and the Bears, right now are just having a tough time. Um,
Right.
and Minnesota is just going to the playoffs, doing their thing. Um, Sam Darnold has found a home.
Hmm.
They love him there. You know what I mean? I mean he's really I mean he's really prospered in that like when me and you always talk about, being in the being in the right environment. And man, he's excelled. The poor guy went to the Jets and floated around and just couldn't catch a break. And now he's in Minnesota and they're
Right.
on top of the world. So I like Minnesota minus, like I said, get rid of the hook, the 6.5. Um,
Yeah.
I can't stand the hook because because really 6.5 is 7. It ought to just be 7.
Right.
So change it to 6, eat a little bit of it. Um, and then I like the over 44 because Minnesota can score some points.
Yeah. They could. Yeah.
Um,
Yes, they can.
so I really, like I said, that's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a good game. I think Minnesota's going to pull out so far ahead of them, and Sam's going to have a good day, and we're going to cover the
Yeah.
over. The last game is Atlanta, the Raiders. Raiders having problems. Are playing at home. Atlanta's having a
Hmm.
lot of problems. Um,
Yeah. Old
Kirk's
Kirk
had,
showed up.
yeah, he
Old Kirk
sure
showed
did. I
up.
mean, sure did, man. Their first 6 games of the year, he was like, okay, man, I'm here, and
Yep.
now they're having issues. But you got to really kind of respect. You got to really respect the Falcons for not yanking them out yet.
Right.
Like I said, the Raiders are just they're just trying to do whatever they can do to play tough, and I think they'll play them tough. But I think this week Atlanta's going to be a little bit more for them, even though
Hmm.
the Raiders are playing for a lot of pride. Um, and this may change. Like I said, I got to go through the injury reserve list, but it may change. Like I said, somewhere amongst all these games, there's about two or three good bets, and that's what we're looking for. We're not trying to
Right.
bet all of them. Like I kind of tell people, I said, man, we're giving you our opinion, what we think, but we're gonna come Sunday or Thursday, we're gonna pinpoint some bets and go, oh, I'm gonna bet that I'm gonna bet
Right.
on, or this you're not gonna bet. I mean, and I think a lot of times people they got 27 different bets and blah 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 blah. And at the end of
Hmm.
the day, you're even. And it's like, yeah, you got a lot of action, but you didn't really accomplish a lot. You still got the same
Right.
money you started with. Slow it down, pinpoint some bets where you feel
Right.
like that you got an advantage. Um, and that's why a lot of people use different sites, because these sites are way, you made they got the Bills and the Lions. They got, and I'm just using an example. They got on Caesars, it's Detroit -1.5. Well, it may
Hmm.
be at another site -3.5. You don't know. You got to really look, especially player
Right.
props. Last night we got a player prop, Pachenko. Mine, I got him at 47. My partner got him at 52. Covered both, but it was like,
Right.
it's a difference.
Right.
All right, guys. I want to thank everyone for tuning in every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Got a lot of great stuff coming up with the sports book. Got to get the grind on, make it happen. I want to thank everyone at KM Radio, our KM Radio, and happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everyone out there. God bless you. We'll see you next Tuesday, 8 o'clock. Tony G, Big Lou, KM Radio, where we go ham.
Damn.